12-hour flight and 7,000 kilometers from Paris, and you land in France. And there on the tarmac, illegal immigrants leaving France, being sent back to Africa. Such is the complexity of the island of Mayotte. A typical East African market scene, except goods are bought and sold in euros. The temptation of Europe, so close to Africa, is magnetic. They reckon a third of the population here is illegal. That's more than 50,000 people, a figure growing at breakneck pace.
À Mayotte, pour l'année 2006, il y a eu plus de 13 000 reconduites à la frontière exécutées sur ce territoire. Tout ça n'est pas spontané. Il y a des gens qui profitent, y compris financièrement, de l'immigration clandestine. Donc nous avons aussi un travail judiciaire à faire, de lutte contre les filières. C'est un travail difficile. C'est un travail difficile pour les policiers. C'est un travail difficile pour les gendarmes.
We went to sea with the Border Patrol, who hope to intercept those making the often perilous 10-hour trip onto tropical European shores. But it's tough finding them. More often than not, all you see is bona fide fishermen. It's now 5:30 in the morning and we're heading back to port. There's been nothing apart from the odd fishermen, but it just goes to show how difficult the job is for these guys. These border patrols reckon they catch about 2 boats per week, but they estimate that every single day 2 or 3 boatloads more are slipping through the net. They're coming in huge numbers. We talked to a clandestine called Sahel. He doesn't want to be identified on camera. He came here in 2001 after paying 150 euros for the trip.
C'est risquer la vie ou la mort. Bien sûr, il y a des gens qui meurent beaucoup, hein, beaucoup. Mais il y a 2 vedettes qui arrivent ici à Mayotte et qui se naufragent direct ici dans le lagon de Mayotte. Dans ma vie, je voulais être heureux comme tout le monde, je voulais être tranquille comme tout le monde. Si j'aurais la nationalité française, là je suis français, automatiquement je vais visiter la France.
Of course, that dream is rarely, if ever, realised. The reality, often a life dependent on handouts on an island where there's little work and much poverty, and trying to avoid the regular identity checks. Some Comorians will try and boat in sick family members to Mayotte because hospital care provided by the French state is so good. Many clandestine are pregnant women. They've heard sometimes a child born on Mayotte gets a French passport. Consequently, the highest birth rate in France is not in Marseille or Paris, but here in Mayotte.
Sur ce nombre entre 7500 et 8000 accouchements par an, il y a plus de 60% de clients d'étrangers en situation irrégulière. On est ici avec des densités de population qui sont une des plus fortes du monde. Et donc il va falloir sûrement prendre des mesures pour réguler un petit peu les naissances.
In the last 5 years, the French state has reaffirmed its intention to keep Mayotte as part of France. Huge amounts of investment are being poured into the island. And therein lies the problem. The better things get, the more people want a piece of Europe in the Indian Ocean. Nick Clark, Al Jazeera, Mayotte, France.